I'm Ruchi Shah, and I'm a student at Stony Brook University. During his tenure as governor, Andrew Cuomo has been an invaluable partner to County Executive Bellone as he works to combat the opioid epidemic, improve Suffolk's water quality, and revitalize our downtowns. As a student at Stony Brook University, I am grateful for all that Governor Cuomo has done to improve and advance SUNY Stony Brook. It is reassuring to know that our leaders at both the state and county levels are intensely focused on creating high-paying, quality jobs to retain students following graduation. It is now my distinct honor to welcome Governor Andrew Cuomo as he says a few words and then administers the oath of office to Suffolk County Executive Steve Bellone.
Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. First, let's give a big round of applause to Ruchi for that kind introduction and all the Stony Brook students here and Dr. Sam Stanley. To Suffolk Community College, it's a pleasure. Thank you for your hospitality and for having us here. And Doctor, thank you for all the fine work you're doing. Let's give them a round of applause. To the Bellone family, public service is very much a family affair. I know that from experiences. It takes a toll on the family. Takes a toll on the kids, and really they are all committed, and they all make a sacrifice to let Steve do the public service that he does. So Tracy, Molly, Kathy, Michael, thank you very much for your public service. It's a pleasure to be with my colleagues in government. We've heard from Congressman Steve Israel. Pleasure to be with you, Steve, once again. He's doing a great job for all of us. Senator Chuck Schumer and I did a lot of good work last year, and I'm excited about what we can do going forward this year. If you pose an issue to the state of New York, we attack you from the north, and Chuck and his team attack from the south, so one way or the other, we're going to get you. Senator Chuck Schumer does a great and stalwart job for the state of New York. Controller Tom DiNapoli, who's my partner in Albany. Pleasure to be with you, Tom. Let's give him a round of applause. And to the Assembly who's here, Assemblyman Phil Ramos is here, and Assemblyman Michael Fitzpatrick, and to the local government electeds who are here, Rich Schaefer and the entire delegation. Let's give them all a round of applause. I am sporting a little equipment today that I don't normally sport. This is because I'm getting ready for the budget battle in Albany, and this is one of the key pieces of equipment in getting the budget done on time. People wonder how we do it. Actually, that's not what this is. I wish it was for the budget battle. This is from a friendly Cuomo family basketball game. If you know the Cuomo family, friendly and basketball, that's an oxymoron. I played with my little brother Christopher, who is the black sheep of the family. He is a journalist, which makes him the black sheep of the family. And he broke my hand playing basketball, shamelessly. I won the game anyway, and that's all that counts. So I feel very good about the entire experience. I hope you all had a very happy holiday season and are still enjoying it. I was thinking about this holiday season, getting ready for today, and the swearing in of our great county executive of Suffolk County, Mr. Stephen Bellone. And I was thinking about my father, who we lost just about a year ago this time. My father passed away on New Year's Day. But going through the holiday season was very intense, that holiday season last year, because we'd been talking to him about to continue the fight, to stay with us. He was a very proud man, my father, and the indignity of deterioration was taking a toll on him. And I was coming up with rationales for why he had to continue and why he had to stay strong. And I was going to be inaugurated on New Year's Day. And I said, you know, I need you on New Year's Day, Pop. I need you there. I need you to help me with the speech. And he said, you don't need me to help you anymore. I said, no, I do. He said, all right, I'll be there on inaugural day. He was there inaugural day, New Year's Day. He heard the speech via telephone. He died right afterwards. So that was my father. He gave me his word, and he was going to live up to his word. And when it comes to public service, when it comes to giving Steve Bellone advice as he embarks on his new term, no one was better than my father. He lived it, he loved it, he studied it, and he practiced it. And I remember talking to my father once just before he ran for his last term. And I said, you know, why do you want to run again? It is so tough out there. The economy is tough. The situation with the legislature is tough. Everything's tough. People are angry. You know, when you are an executive, they blame you for everything when you're an executive. I don't want to get into a dispute with my legislative colleagues who have their own problems. When you're a legislator, you have to deal with members. But when you're an executive, everybody is a member. And everybody holds you responsible for everything. And I was saying to my father, you know, it's tough and it's ugly. And why don't you just take a pass? You don't have to run again. And he said, no, you don't get it. You're exactly wrong. When he was emphatic, he loved to say that. You're exactly wrong. Which really doesn't say anything more than you are wrong. But it just makes you feel worse. You are exactly wrong. You are exactly wrong. That's exactly why I should run. Because when the times are tough, that's when government matters most. When things are good, it's a lot easier to do government. Anyone can do it. But when times are tough, that's when you need a real leader of real quality who's really willing to step up and make the tough decisions. And then he said, if you have the right leader, with a little smile. He'd give you that little smile. And that's why he had to run again, because the times were tough and because he was the right leader. He was a man with experience who was competent and qualified for the job. And he was right. Well, my friends, times are tough today. They're tough all across this country. Congressman Israel is exactly right. And Steve Bellone is the right man to take leadership during these tough times. And it is tough everywhere. It's tough on the federal level. It's tough internationally. We have terrorism issues that we never had before. If it happens in San Bernardino County, California, that means it can happen in Suffolk County, New York. It means it can happen anywhere at any time. You feel that increasing frequency of terrorist attacks. And I'd love to be able to say, well, it's going to get better. I don't believe it's going to get better. I believe it's going to get worse. I believe the frequency is actually going to increase. I think that internet opened a portal so the hate could come from the Middle East and get here a lot faster and get here a lot quicker. So we have that challenge. We have tremendous economic challenges. People say, the analysts say the economy is on the way back, the economy's getting better. Not for millions of New Yorkers, the economy's not getting better. Not for the middle class, not for the working families. They've been going backwards for a long time. A lot of houses right here in Suffolk County, they're still not where they were in 2007. A lot of values are still below where they were in 2007. A lot of people are still underwater in their homes where the mortgage is higher than the house, and they can't get out of it. And during those economic times, it puts even more of a stress on government. Government, Suffolk County, was raising property taxes about 6% every year. Just think about that. 6% after 6% after 6%. Where was anything going up 6%? Your home value is going down or it's flat, your income's going down or it's flat, and the government keeps raising your property taxes 6%. Why? Well, because that's the easy out for government, is to raise your taxes. Nobody wants to say no. Politicians don't like to say no. So you say yes, and we'll spend more money. The answer is always more money. As long as you're willing to say more money, everybody likes you. More money, more money, more money. Except the taxpayers. It was disrespectful to the taxpayers. We said a few years ago, we have to try a different way. We have to find a way to have an economy of scale, to have efficiency, by the way, like every home in this state. Let's just go through the same exercise that we do in our real life and how we save money and how we find to make ends meet. And we passed something in the state of New York called the 2% property tax cap. Voluntary, but property taxes should not go up to more than 2%. Oh boy, there was an explosion. How can things only go up 2%? We can't do it, we can't do it. And I said, every house in the state is doing it. Why can't government do it? And a lot of local governments went the other way. You know one local government that didn't? County of Suffolk, and Steve Bellone. Steve Bellone capped the increase on the county budget at 2%. You know what that means per year? $1,500 on average for every house who pays taxes in the county of Suffolk. $1,500 over 5 years, $4,000 remain in the pocket of taxpayers rather than going to the county government. That is significant. $4,000, just think about that. It's amazing what difference he's made just on that level. Now, every day besides today, I am going to take credit for those $4,000 because I'm going to say I passed the property tax cap. And the Assembly and the Senate are going to take credit because they're going to say they passed the property tax cap, and the Comptroller is going to take credit because he's going to say he passed it, and Senator Schumer is going to take credit because he's going to say if it wasn't for him and the federal government, the state wouldn't exist in the first place, so none of this would have happened. But government is in the doing, and government is in the hands of the person who wrote that budget and passed that budget, and that's Steve Bellone. And that was a great act of government responsibility. You keep the tax base, you keep the taxes down, it's good for business, more young people stay. He then saw the unemployment rate, which is everything, because it means people have jobs, go from 7.4% down to 4%. A 3% drop in unemployment, creating 100,000 new jobs in Suffolk County. And that is the engine that pulls the train. So you have that economy growing, which is a phenomenal accomplishment given this day and age. And he's been dealing with all the tough problems all across the board, problems that other people have just ignored. We have a tremendous challenge in Suffolk County with the environment. Peconic Bay this year, thousands of dead fish floating on the top of the Peconic. I saw it myself. It was frightening. We know we have a problem with water quality. A lot of elected officials would just ignore it. I didn't create it. It's a big issue. It's a tough problem. I'm going to ignore it. Mayor Erastus Corning, a great mayor of Albany, city of Albany, had a great line once. There was a lot of snow outside, and the reporter said, well, what are you going to do about the snow? He said, well, God put it there. Let God take it away. You know. Steve Bellone could have said, I'm not going to deal with that environmental issue. That's complicated. It's a lot of money. It comes with water quality. He grabbed a hold of that issue and said, we're going to do it. Federal and state, $380 million going into sewage districts that we never had before. We're going to complete today with the county funding the first ever water quality center at Stony Brook to really understand what we need to do going forward. It's the first of its kind that we'll be doing. County was supposed to build a new jail for $112 million, continue the madness of the incarceration cycle. You lock up people. On the state level, it costs $45,000 per year to lock someone up in a prison cell for a year. Same amount of money that Harvard charges for a year of tuition. And we put people in prison cells for that long. County was supposed to build a new jail. He said, we have to find another way. Came up with an alternatives to incarceration program, saved $112 million for the county, and saved countless young lives by giving them an alternative to a jail cell that would only make their life worse. That's the leadership that he's shown. He's done it on every level. Big problems require big solutions, require a big leader, and that's what he's done. He's done it on Wyandanch Rising, he's done it on Connect Long Island, the Ronkonkoma Hub, the East End Transportation, big challenges and big leadership. That's what we've gotten from Steve Bellone. So my father said you need the right man for the job. Steve Bellone is the right man. How do you know that? The voters said he was the right man. The performance says he's the right man. And on a personal level, I've had the advantage of seeing him in a way almost no one else in this room has seen him. I've seen him without the tie and jacket at 3 o'clock in the morning, in the dark, in the middle of a hurricane, in the middle of a flood, during Storm Irene. I've seen him on the Long Island Expressway with 2 feet of snow, with cars stuck everywhere and people in their cars, where there is no rule book and there is no one advising you and there is no one whispering to you, and it's just you. And you are now elected to protect people, and you have to figure out how to do it. And I tell you, in those moments, you can look into a person's eyes and you see their soul. You see what they're made of in those moments. And I've been there with Steve Bellone in those moments. And when I looked into his eyes, I saw intelligence, I saw integrity, I saw courage, and I saw a leader. He was there those nights. He was there when it was tough. He's there every day. He is going to be a great leader to bring Suffolk County forward. I ask him and his family to come to the stage now and join us to take the oath of office. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Steve Bellone.
I, Steve Bellone,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the County Executive
the duties of the County Executive
in and for the County of Suffolk
in and for the County of Suffolk
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.